Okay, so the video should be open now and ready to go. Good morning, evening, or afternoon, whenever you are. We'll be waiting for a couple more minutes for everybody who wants to get in to get in. Okay. So how is everybody this fine morning or evening or wherever you are in the world? Welcome. See some familiar faces or names more precisely in the attendee list. It's good. So we'll wait a couple more minutes for everybody to join in before I get started. All right, but just use this time to make sure that everybody can hear me. So if any one of you can type in the chat that you can hear me, that would be great. I'm pretty sure everything is working on my side, but better to check. Awesome. Thank you very much, Maciej. And one more minute and then we'll get started. Good morning, everybody. Afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the world. As I said, we're waiting just a little while before we get started. This is the opening ceremony for Meteor Impact. Okay. Let me double check how many people have signed up. Okay, so quite a few. That was good. All right, so let's get started. Good morning, evening, afternoon, or night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Meteor Impact 2021. It's been a year since we had our first impact, which was more of an experiment that we put together in a month. This year around, we had a bit more time to prepare and get everything ready, and I think the results will show that. But first of all, I would like to thank all of our sponsors who supported this endeavor. So obviously we have the Meteor community, we have Meteor software itself, and Pathable who provided the platform we are on. And also then we have AG Data, which is a Czech startup with agriculture for agriculture and cities, primarily focusing on, or kind of they're building what I really love, their meteor stations to measure air pressures, how much it has rain and wind and all that stuff, and a couple of other awesome things. Then we have ScaleGrid, which is a database hosting, and we have also Wasco, our Polish friends who say are probably the biggest Meteor company in Europe when it comes to contracting. So once you get a chance, give them a look, and I'm going to show you where you can find them here, or you can also go directly to their websites if you click on their logos on the main site. But since we are here, I want to use this opportunity to kind of walk you what we have prepared this year, so what you can expect. So let me switch over to here and move myself somewhere so it's more visible. And since I have a big screen, time to zoom in. So right now, as you can see, we are on the opening ceremony. I would just like to highlight that since last Friday, we had a Meteor hackathon, which was run by Meteor Software itself. And so you can check the sessions from there. Already they are all uploaded. And there were some really nice entries there and some really awesome projects that were finished. And we'll have a final ceremony towards the end. So every day we have a couple of chill sessions, or at least chill or hangout sessions that you can. That's kind of, if you know Google Hangouts, that's a similar thing. It's very limited when it comes to seating, so make sure to reserve your seating. And we'll have one after this short welcoming ceremony, opening ceremony. So we'll have like a welcome reception. We'll have one also tomorrow as well. And then we have a couple more through the day. We also have showcases, multiple showcases. The first one we'll have from Jan about Claire, classroom interactive real-time environment. So looking forward to that. Then we'll have another type is workshops where you can kind of follow along and do some coding. So the first one we'll have will be from Mike King about moving past Meteor Kitchen, if you remember. So it was scaffolding options for Meteor. And then we'll have different talks. Talks are kind of put into two different categories. One for community related stuff, or from community. So that will be, for example, my Hacktoberfest overview. And then we'll have, if you look later on, we have also from core related or from the core team from Meteor. So that will be my Meteor Accounts 2.0 and beyond talk later on at 1 p.m. in Central Standard Time. But obviously that will differ where you are. This agenda, the times that shows you are based on your local time. So you should be able to see all of them very nice. So a couple of things to highlight here as we go through the agenda. We'll have building Meteor Android apps in AWS with Adrian Lanning. So if you remember, that's a laning on GitHub and in the Meteor community. So he is, say, if you're using community packages, then you definitely know him or his creations. We'll have a bit longer chill session after that because this session is pre-recorded due to time zones being a little bit of an annoyance here. So then we'll have half an hour longer chill session afterwards so people can ask questions to Adrian and Richie about what they have been presenting. Obviously, also Vasco has a lot of presentations here as well. So we have from Radoslav, we'll have many faces of performance in Meteor, which I know are always welcome. About performance and scaling, because there's always a lot of questions and not enough answers. And this will go on. Just a notice, you can reserve your spot if you see this plus sign. That means you can click on it and that will reserve you a spot for the session. All of them are limited when it comes to how many people can get in, but with the exception of the Hangout session, I don't think that should be a problem, but we'll see how many people will be attending Then we have a couple of showcases. And then we have from Renan Castro, who is one of the core developers, about React suspense and Meteor Dynamics imports. In between that and his next talk, we'll have from Federico Maya, why should I use Meteor.js in 2021? If you remember from last year, we had also a talk similar to this. So this is more for the beginners to kind of get into it, or kind of the class people who have not been around for a while. And then we have another from Renan about Meteor and mobile continuous delivery. And towards the end of the day, my final chill session that I will be attending will be about hobbies and interest showcase to kind of get to know people about other than Meteor things. But it's not necessarily that it should be that topic. We can talk whatever we want. Following that, we'll have last two sessions. As you can see, that's very late for me, and I'll need to get ready for the next day. So I'll have to watch these two as recordings afterwards. So we'll have from Elise from Meteor Software about Meteor marketing. And then, which if you're around, I would highly recommend new React hooks for Meteor. This is if you are using React. There are a couple of new hooks that are coming out that we've published the beta packages for that yesterday with Kevin Newman. So check that out, get to know what are these packages all about, and give them a try. And then over the night for time zones that like Australia and Hawaii and any other time zones that are kind of out of the scope for most of the conference, I have prepared replays of talks that happened through the year on interesting topics. So we'll have creating a Meteor package with Felipe and Renan, which pretty much is talking about a new upcoming package in the account systems, and then how to use that and create a new package around that. And then we have some classical replays. Then finally, we'll get to Friday. We'll start with a morning reception. So bring your breakfast, lunch, or dinner to it, or just come and join us. As today, Jan will start then us with a showcase for Leah, literacy education for adults. So I'm looking forward to that because literary stuff is something I'm interested in. And then following with Mike King with another workshop about uniform and abstractions. So those two work really nicely on this. And yeah, then we have more showcases. Then we have a couple of presentations related to community. I will be disclosing Meteor community survey results. And later on, you can see I'll also be doing a year in review for Meteor community packages. And there we have another showcase for crypto. And then we have a workshop with me and Jan Dvorak from Superface about resilient email sending with Meteor and Superface AI. I still have some coding to do for that, but look forward to it. I've already written an article about it. If you follow me on Dev2, so this will be expanding a little bit on that and making things probably a bit easier. And we must not forget about our tea at 3. If you remember from last year, I am a big tea drinker. And you can see in the background over there, I have a lot of tea ready. And it's just the tip of the pyramid. And then we'll be slowly moving towards the end of the conference. We'll have from Pathable a talk about Meteor development lifecycle, about scaling. And as always, the highlight of the day is going to be keynote by Felipe, or probably one of the highlights, because then we'll have immediately scaling with Meteor app from Southern. And to kind of finalize it up, we have Hackathon Award Ceremony, which I would highly encourage you to take a look what people were able to do with or create with Meteor in less than a week. And then we are finally going to close it up with a closing ceremony, which kind of will summarize it. We'll have, people kind of sharing their thoughts, and at the end, it's going to be goodbye, everybody. I am too tired. I'm going to go and die in my bed. So that's been for the agenda. If you want to, we have also a list of all the speakers available on the menu under speakers. So you can check them out, if you want to. For example, the profile, you can send them messages, you can schedule meetings with them. Then we have exhibitors. This is pretty much all our sponsors and other, let's say, like my project, Literary Universe or Superface, so you can kind of learn more about it. But definitely check our sponsors. So for example, on Vasco, if you click here, you'll see the descriptions, you see all their links. You can start discussion with them. You can click that you want to meet with them. You can start conversation, or you can contact one of those members, directly. So obviously, if you haven't done already, make sure to pimp out your profiles. So because you can also meet with anybody else. So if you click on anyone else, you can, kind of see what's their Meteor account, GitHub account, some descriptions if they have their ribbons, tags. And for speakers, you can also see their what they will be where they will be talking about, and again, you can tell them that you want to meet with them, or you can go straight ahead and schedule a meeting. So, and then you can choose time. It will show you when you and they are available. As you can see, I am pretty full through the day, but so there are some available time slots that we both share on today. Or maybe you can go to Friday, and there's a couple more. And we have this feature for scheduling meetings open up till next week. So if you cannot meet maybe this week or over the weekend, schedule something for next weekend. Don't be afraid to connect with people. The platform has a lot of capabilities. And if you want to go directly to the sponsors web pages, you can just click on their logo on the main page, and boom, you're at Vasco site. Or for AG data, boom, here you go. They have this nice animation of farms and all of that they do there, so it's pretty fun. So yeah, that's that. Reminder, we had the hackathon, so that's one is we'll have the prices coming up soon. Feel free to check them out and kind of put your bets. Also remember that we are also in the middle of Oktoberfest, so if you submit for pull requests that get accepted to open source repositories that participate in Oktoberfest, then you get some free swag. I'll talk more about that later. So think that's kind of big quick overview of what's coming up. So let me know if you have any questions or issues that you want me to address. In the chat and the agenda here for the opening ceremony. So good morning, everybody. Once again. So let's see if you can also in the talk, so you can see there we have the chat, we have polls, so you can use that to ask questions. Sometimes there will be some files like the presentation slides, and you can also see all the people that kind of registered to see the talk. So far no questions. And once you can also select which docs you want to see, and you can go under agenda, my agenda, and see all of them also in a calendar view, if that helps you. As you can see, I'll be around everywhere. Okay, let's go back to the chat and see if there are any questions. Right, it does not look like it. So well, I will not delay you. So thank you very much for your attention. I think we have quite a nice agenda before us to enjoy. So make sure that you pick what you're interested in. Don't despair if you miss it. It will always be available later on as recorded and then later on uploaded on YouTube. Once again, thanks a lot to our wonderful sponsors for HData, Vasco, Meteor, Software, Pathable, ScaleGrid, and the Meteor community for making this happen. So thank you again very much for joining me this morning, and I'll see you in the chill session. See you there.